Alright everybody, what's going on? It's Phil here. It's time for my official review for Saturday night's main event, the January 25th, 2025 edition. As you guys can see, I'm in the new setup. I actually have a chair to sit on now with these reviews, so that's a plus. And secondly, we're just going to be going over each and every single match in the segment that happened on the show, and we're just going to be talking to you guys about what I liked, what I didn't like, and overall what could ultimately happen heading into the future with the Royal Rumble coming out next week and beyond. So let's get right into it. But before we do, make sure you hit that like button, turn on the bell for all notifications, and subscribe to the channel. That way you guys never miss another upload right here on the YouTube channel. Let's get right into Saturday night's main event. But before we get right into the actual match breakdowns, I want to talk to you guys about Saturday night's main event in a general sense. And I feel like WWE really does need to try to figure out the identity of what Saturday night's main event can be for their product, because at the end of the day, to me, it just felt like a glorified house show. I mean, we're getting 4 to 5 matches each and every single time. They're short matches, to say the least. And at the end of the day, they're just matches that really aren't getting the type of love that you would normally see on a regular WWE PLE, because, I mean, they're really just kind of made out of nowhere. I mean, let's take a look at what is going to be talking about first when it comes down to Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax. That was really just kind of something to have Rhea Ripley get her first title defense against, right? So it's just very, very interesting to see how WWE is really kind of formatting these shows, but it's just something for the nostalgia act, and I feel like you kind of have to be that certain person in order to really kind of feel some sort of, kind of emotion to this show. But overall, it's not a bad show by any means. I just feel like WWE needs to find their identity with it, and right now they're just not finding that kind of identity that I hope that they would be looking for. And the thing that's really kind of getting into everybody's head is that WWE right now is really trying to get that casual audience to tune in each and every single week. And the fact of the matter is, they're not going to do that. The casual audience are the casual audience for a reason. And the fact of the matter is, WWE is trying to, convert them into die-hard fans like you and I. And the fact of the matter is, the die-hard fans are showing up to these shows, they're doing these shows, they're watching these shows, and at the end of the day, we're not getting satisfied because we feel like this should be a PLE type quality show, and it's not really leaning towards that. So, catering to the casual audience is one thing, but when you're trying to cater to both casual and hardcore fans, that's what WWE really does need to try to figure out, and hopefully they figure it out sooner rather than later. But at the end of the day, that's really kind of just for WWE to figure out and not us, the fans. So hopefully WWE does kind of figure that out, because if they don't, people are going to be more tuned out of the show kind of idea instead of tuning in. So hopefully WWE will find it out one way or another. But I'm done blabbering about the overall essence of Saturday night's main event. Let's get right into the matches. First up, let's talk about the matchup between Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax for the WWE Women's World Championship. So I talked about this in the prediction video that at the end of the day, Rhea Ripley was just going to retain. And the fact of the matter is, that's exactly what happened. But the matchup that happened at Saturday Night's main event, to me, and I would personally just prefer this match over the one that they had at Elimination Chamber, mainly because of the fact Nia Jax had a great dance partner in Rhea Ripley, and Rhea Ripley pulled out some moves that we never even really seen before. I've never seen Rhea Ripley do a code red, and that was easily one of the biggest near falls of honestly the entire night. So the fact of the matter is, Rhea Ripley and Nia Jax put out a banger to kick off Saturday night's main event, and Rhea Ripley retained the Women's World Championship, as she should. She just won the title back, so why would anybody expect Nia Jax to be picking up the victory in this Women's World Championship match? Rhea Ripley is going to be the Women's World Champion heading into WrestleMania, and I feel like everybody and their mother knows that at this point. But at the end of the day, Nia Jax did a very good job at making Rhea Ripley look strong. Rhea Ripley made Nia Jax looks strong. Everybody won here in this whole entire situation. It's just that Rhea Ripley was the one to walk out as the Women's World Champion in the end. So, yeah, the fact of the matter is, this was honestly a really good way to kick things off for Saturday night's main event, because they got the crowd, which was really red hot all night, just to get a matchup going, and we saw Rhea Ripley retain the championship. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, and it was honestly just a really good match to kick things off for the show. Now let's talk about the Intercontinental Championship matchup between the champion Braun Breaker and the challenger in Sheamus. Now let's just get this right here out of the way. This was easily my match of the night. The fact of the matter is, if you put this on any WWE PLE, Braun Breaker and Sheamus, you're gonna put an absolute banger, no pun intended. And at the end of the day, this was just a really good quality match, even with the commercials that were added on into it. The fact of the matter is, Braun Breaker and the Intercontinental Championship are honestly kind of just meant for each other. Even though Braun Breaker's Intercontinental Championship run thus far has really not been all that stellar in the grand scheme of things, Sheamus is an amazing opponent for Braun Breaker. And I know that some people right now are kind of just willing and waiting to see Sheamus get that moment for the Intercontinental Championship and having him win that IC title one way or another. And I'm telling you guys, that will happen. I just think it's going to be happening further down the line. And personally, I think it's going to be happening at WrestleMania in Las Vegas. But the fact of the matter is, Braun Breaker is an amazing Intercontinental Champion. He's done absolutely everything that he could do with this championship. And now we're just going to be seeing this reign continue. And I loved that Jesse Ventura was on commentary for this matchup because Jesse Ventura was really behind Sheamus in every single way imaginable. When we even had that awkward moment between Jesse Ventura and the rest of the commentary team and Pat McAfee and Corey Graves, when Jesse Ventura clearly he clearly thought that the referee counted to three, and maybe that's the whole storyline arc with everything, because at the end of the day, we did see a tweet from Sheamus saying that he was robbed with the whole Jesse Ventura picture and everything. So maybe there's going to be some sort of story that goes along with that. But Jesse Ventura really thought that Sheamus should be the Intercontinental Champion tonight, and I feel like a lot of people really should be thinking the exact same way. So hopefully we'll see where things go down the line with the Intercontinental Championship moving forward. But Sheamus will win the Intercontinental Championship. It's only a matter of time. Now let's talk about the contract signing between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens with the special guest moderator in Shawn Michaels. This contract signing was absolutely everything that it needed to be. Both Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes were on each other's A game when it came down to the promos back and forth with each other. Shawn Michaels did everything in his power to really be that kind of moderator that these two really kind of need. But we all saw what was going to be happening at the end of the day. Shawn Michaels really kind of sided more with Cody Rhodes. He said that, Kevin Owens was jealous after Kevin Owens said to Cody Rhodes that he did not take the easy way out, even though like Cody Rhodes did when he left the WWE and all that kind of sense. So, you know, Shawn Michaels did his thing in this entire situation, and the fact of the matter is, we almost saw a package pile driver be hit onto Shawn Michaels by Kevin Owens, but Cody Rhodes helped Shawn Michaels out in that, and we had a sweet chin music hit by Shawn Michaels to Kevin Owens, and it was absolutely incredible. The fact that we saw Shawn Michaels get physical in this segment was absolutely insane, and I just have to say this right here, right now. I know it's most likely not happening, so I am not, saying that this is going to be the case or anything like that. But Kevin Owens got Stone Cold Steve Austin to come out of retirement for a match at WrestleMania. Imagine if that happens and we get Kevin Owens taking on Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania. I know, it's not gonna happen. I get it. But the fact of the matter is, that would just be insane. That would just be insane. I mean, come on. But the match is official. The contract was signed. We saw a referee hang both the Undisputed WWE Championship and the Winged Eagle Championship on that little coat hanger type deal, and they suspended it above the ring, just above Cody and Kevin's heads. And we're going to be having a ladder match at Saturday night. Oh, at the Royal Rumble. I'm going to keep that in. But yeah, we're going to be having a ladder match at the Royal Rumble. It's going to be an absolutely amazing match at the Royal Rumble event, and I'm very much looking forward to it. So Saturday night's main event's contract signing between Cody and Kevin was very well done, and I feel like they should have more segments like this to kind of, pace the show a little bit better. So this was really good. Now let's talk about the train wreck that happened between Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman. And I say it was a train wreck mainly because of the fact that it really just was that. The match really wasn't all that great in the grand scheme of things in terms of the actual bell to bell type action. We had a disqualification finish, which I personally did not enjoy. But the stuff that I did enjoy with this whole entire segment slash match was the fact that Jacob Fatu continues to cut the promos that he has as he makes his way to the ring, and the man is just absolutely too good to be true. I mean, the man is just absolutely insane on the microphone and in the ring. But Jacob Fatu is just the complete package. And what happened after the match when the disqualification happened was absolutely insane as well. We saw so many hip attacks, we saw so many mighty moonsaults, and they basically just took what they did with Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed and basically inserted that into the stuff that's happening between Braun Strowman and Jacob Fatu. And the thing is, what's not broke, don't fix it, right? So at the end of the day, they did the exact same kind of formula for this to make Jacob Fatu an absolute megastar in the process. And I mean, the fact of the matter is, the man is going to get over on his own just by the work rate and just by the promos that he does on his own. The whole "I love you" solo, the whole Fatu call, and everything else in between for Jacob Fatu, he's getting himself over rather than people, going out there to put him over in the process. And it's just an amazing thing to see. Jacob Fatu is a complete package, and WWE really did an amazing job at making him look like an absolute complete badass in the process. So the match was a match. It was fine for what it was. It didn't even really last 10 minutes, but you know, what we got after the match and what the promo was before the match for Jacob Fatu was absolutely everything that you needed to see. And if there was any moment that you need to go back and watch Saturday Night's Main Event for, if you guys did not catch it live, go back and watch that entire segment, because that is something that you really should be looking out for when it comes down to these episodes of Saturday Night's Main Event. Oh, and by the way, this is not over by any means between Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman. If anything, this just started what is going to be an amazing feud between the two men. We saw Braun Strowman bleeding from the mouth because of the intensity that Jacob Fatu brought with the whole, hip attacks and everything like that. So, I mean, this is not over by any means, and I hope we get this matchup on an episode of SmackDown or at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view or what have you, because, I mean, man, these two need to go at it again, and these two honestly really do need to have a full-fledged match where an actual winner is decided. And finally, let's talk about the main event matchup for the World Heavyweight Championship between the champion Gunther and the challenger in main event Jey Uso. Now, this is where I'm going to get really critical when it comes down to the formatting of Saturday Night's Main Event, because there were way too many commercial breaks during this entire situation here. We had Jey Uso make his entrance, and it really wasn't all that big of an entrance that you would normally see. It's kind of just a normal Jey entrance. And then all of a sudden, when we saw Gunther make his entrance, we got right to commercial. Then we had a 30-second, type deal for the matchup, and then all of a sudden, we're right back to commercial again. And it felt like, with how many commercials we had to get within this World Heavyweight Championship matchup, it just felt like a really rushed type match for the World Heavyweight Championship. And I feel like that's kind of where WWE really missed on the opportunity to really make this matchup as special as it really could have been. Now, a lot of people wanted to see Jey Uso win the World Heavyweight Championship on Saturday Night's Main Event. And the fact of the matter is, it just really was not going to make much sense for him to win the World Heavyweight Championship, even though they had an amazing false finish where we saw, that Uso splash, and it was just an amazing 1-2 kick out by Gunther. Gunther is honestly really becoming an amazing, 2.99 kick out artist, but it's just a matter of fact of knowing when to structure your commercial breaks, that way you're not taking people out of the matchup. And I feel like a lot of people were taken out of the matchup just based on how many commercial breaks we got within this thing. But Gunther, he retained the World Heavyweight Championship as he should. I do not see Gunther losing that World Heavyweight Championship, at least until we possibly get to WrestleMania. But even then, I really don't know if we're going to be getting Gunther to lose that World Heavyweight Championship. The man is just on an absolute tear right now with the World Heavyweight Championship, and I feel like after Saturday Night's Main Event is going to be the time when we actually see Gunther's World Heavyweight Championship run pick up. But yeah, the match was okay for what it was, with the main event being what it was. But you know, Jey Uso, I feel, will have his moment in the sun at some point, because WWE has to understand and has to see what the fans are trying to do with Jey Uso and how much fanfare that Jey Uso truly has. Because Jey Uso is just a really cool person to get behind. people love to root for Jey Uso, and I feel like WWE kind of knows that at this point. So I feel like at some point WWE has to pull the trigger. And I feel like WWE would have to pull the trigger on him winning a world championship down the line. It's just a matter of when, not where or if, because, the man is going to be a possible world champion. It's just a matter of time. So, Gunther winning the World Heavyweight Championship, or retaining rather, was the right call. It's not like, this wasn't the right call or anything, but we're just going to have to figure out what the plan is for Jey Uso moving forward. Hopefully, he has an amazing Royal Rumble because, even though I do not see Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble by any means, I feel like Jey Uso should have at least a solid outing in the Royal Rumble match itself. So, overall, solid match for what it was, even though the commercial breaks did kind of take me out of it, but Gunther retaining was obviously going to be the right call. But I do kind of want to throw this out there to you guys, and I want you guys to sound off in the comments. But with how big, the chase for the World Heavyweight Championship is, or for just a World Championship for Jey Uso is in general, don't you guys kind of feel that once the actual win for Jey Uso happens, if it actually ever does happen, that the chase is going to be greater than the actual championship run itself? I mean, we talk about that a lot in the world of professional wrestling, right? The chase is always better than the actual championship run itself, or, something of that regard. But, I know how popular Jey Uso is, and I get that a lot of people just really want to see Jey Uso win that big one, but I kind of feel like that's ultimately going to be the case here when it comes down to the big one being won by Jey Uso. I just hope that really isn't the case because of how, popular and how much fun we have with Jey Uso whenever he is around. I don't know. I guess I'm really just talking out loud there, but I want your guys' opinions on that in the comments if you can. But overall, that was Saturday night's main event. I enjoyed myself. I put the expectations really low. That way I wouldn't be as disappointed as many people were for the first show back in December. But Saturday night's main event was a solid show for what it was. Other than that, you really did not miss much. But that's it. That's your January 25th, 2025 edition review for Saturday night's main event. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is a new setup now, so I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. And I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Stay safe. God bless. And peace.